Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is how we can make use of the image tool. So now imagine if I wanted to create a poster and the background I wanted to use was going to be a space background. Now what I could do is I could simply type in space. Okay, I can go to images and I can look at the images that it's given me in order to create my poster. Now, some of these might not be good backgrounds to use due to the colors that they've used and the images that are on the actual image itself. Now, what we can see is that Google also gives me a few suggestions if I wanted to filter it down further. So, if I wanted to go to cartoon spaces, I could do that, and it's giving me a list of images which are pictures of space with a cartoon theme. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that off. Now, I might want to type in background, and what that's given me is that's filtered it down a little bit more to give me some pictures which might be a little bit more relevant. Now, what we also need to think about is the size of the image which I am going to create. Now, if I click on one of these images, what that does is that gives me the actual size of the image. Now, 1000 by 667 is is a good size image to use as a background, but some of these images that we might see could be very small. So, for example, this one 459 pixels are going across, 280 pixels in terms of height. That's a very small image. So if I was to use that as a background for a poster, it will get stretched and it will become very pixelated. So that might not be a good image to use based on the size. Now, what I could do if I come right back to the top, we've got this option here with tools. Now, once I've clicked on tools, as you can see, we have different ways that we can filter this down further. So I've gone to size and it's given me large, medium, or icon. Color, so if I wanted this particular type of color. Usage rights. Now, usage rights, we need to think about exactly which type of images that we're using and where we're using them. This is something that we're going to cover in next week's lesson in more detail. The type of image. So if I wanted some sort of clip art, line drawing, or GIF, I can use that option there. And the time when it's been uploaded. Now, this might not be appropriate here, but if I was looking for a particular news article, this could be useful there. Um, Now, what I'm going to do is, which one would you think that would be useful for me to use in order to get one which would be a clearer image? Um, would it be time, type, usage rights, color, or size? If I want it to be a good quality image for the background, I'm pretty sure most of you guys got that correct. It would have been size. And if I head over to large, this will give me a list of images which will be large in size. This one, for example, 2560 by 1600. That is very large. This one, 1000 by 1500. That's a good size, but obviously not as big as the previous one we've just looked at. Huge. This one will be huge. Very good quality image. 3840 by 2160. So that would be a huge image for me to use. Now, what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to come back onto the presentation. I want you to tell me exactly what you could use to help you find one image. So we've done a few things there. We looked at, in fact, I will give you guys a set of answers you should have. Um, and I want you to also snip uh, how you search that. So when we actually using the snipping tool, all I will really need is that section there. So once you paste that over, what I should see is something similar to this, where I can see exactly what you've typed, that you've gone to images, and that you've selected large. So if you could do that for me over here.